I want to ask you about the Prime Minister's meeting with Kamala Harris, where illegal immigration, smuggling, that kind of thing was also brought up. We don't know what the discussion was, but certainly, of course, the Bahamas needing assistance with the major influxes that are happening. We just saw over the weekend again, nearly 400 just apprehended at the weekend. What can the U.S. do to help the Bahamas? Is the U.S. even interested in helping the Bahamas, you think?
No, they're not interested because they have a serious immigration crisis in California, in Texas, and Florida. If you saw what Governor Sanders did, they had busloads and busloads of foreign Cuban migrants coming on. 2 days ago, they had a whole shipload of people just landed on the shore. In Texas, you had a whole lot of people coming through the border. In California, and the Biden administration policy is come.
And I think, Cassius, I think that because everybody wants to get to the U.S., including the Haitians, that is dangerous for every country in its path.
But you see, the Biden administration is encouraging that. Now, bear in mind, though, that only works for your skin color. That's not,
well,
that come is not for the Haitians.
No,
it's for only the light-skinned migrants. It ain't for the black people.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get beside yourself. So the Haitians end up coming or getting caught in the Bahamas waters. They ain't really come, they won't go to America. But you see, what they do is, according to the UN law, is that if they're caught in the Bahamian waters, they have to be brought into port and processed in the Bahamas. So even if they're close to America and they're Bahamian waters, they got to still bring them back to Nassau to be processed in the Bahamas. And so so I don't know what the Prime Minister and the Vice President talking about, because their immigration policy is failed. Their policy is, as many of y'all could come, y'all come. Our policy can't be what their policy is. So I don't know what the two of them have been talking about, because really and truly, you want help. How you going to help to somebody who opening up all their borders all across for immigration, and you trying to say you want to close your borders? So to me, that's a kind of interesting scenario. So I guess it just had tea.
The Biden administration there was a press release which suggested to the Bahamas that the Bahamian government should look at giving illegal immigrants some form of status.
Cassius, do you remember this?
Well, I do know that, I don't remember, but I do know that the Biden administration naturalized 1 million immigrants last year. 1 million immigrants last year. And so those who crossed the border, they gave them, in fact, when they come in, they give them a cell phone, they give them credit on the cell phone, they give them all kind of things when they come into the border. And well, so that's what they do in America.
So maybe this is what they want the Bahamas to do as well, to follow suit, you're saying?
Yes, they are looking at the Bahamas is really sparsely populated when you consider the number of islands that we have. We have less than 500,000 people. And so they figure we can absorb some of these persons who are destined to end up in the United States. So I think they are looking at us.
Only the black ones, Samuchi. Only the black ones.
You see, to fill that void and to retain some of these people here in the Bahamas. But I think what we really need to hold the government feet to the fire on is a real immigration policy. Right?
Yeah, Mochi, there's a UN treaty. There's a UN treaty that forbids governments from doing that, either arresting illegal immigrants at the hospital and at schools. And so all governments
not arresting them.
You can't. So if an illegal immigrant presents themselves to the hospital, it's almost, you cannot call the police for them.
No, what I'm saying is you service them. You service them.
We're a joke. They know we're a joke. And yeah, and so when it comes to illegal immigration, we got to be firm, and we know that we're going to run into a headbutt with Amnesty International and the human rights people, but we got to get a hold on this immigration issue. We got to send a message that the Bahamas is a beautiful place, but it ain't a place for you to find refugee in. And so but the problem is, like I said, it's the America. America is forcing all of this movement in Central and South America and the Caribbean unnecessarily, because the Biden administration, they're looking for Democratic votes for the next election. The more people they can get in there, the more people they can get voting. And so that's what they're trying to do. And they're forcing this like a tidal wave of people moving, all because they want to win the next election. And so it's all political.